We are saving Hilda Romano green bean seeds in this video. We will go over harvesting and tear down, both bean drying sessions, and how I chose to store my seeds. As you have a choice, airtight containers like a glass jar or Ziploc, or in paper products, bag or envelopes. Paper will allow excess moisture to escape. You will choose according to you and your geographical needs. You can store your green bean seeds from 3 to 5 years. After that, your germination rate will begin to decline. Let's get started, but first, September 4th, and we are looking at this green bean and also this green bean tower, which I planted on top of these gorgeous violas. I'll show you a few pics of those. However, the point of this is I'm now gonna let these beans go completely to seed. I'm not gonna pick any of them. I need to replenish them. This is Hilda Romano series. And the beans up here are giving us the first sign of browning out, and then they'll start to dry out. I've got lots over here. I counted this. I've got 7 bean starts just in this one pod. All right, so I'm in the house. Can you see how the sun is shining through that bean pod dead in the middle of the screen? You can see all of the beans in there. The drying beans on the drying pod. September 19th, just waiting on everything to brown out. You can see the leaves are turning. You can hear the locusts behind me. You can see the trees are starting to turn. Gorgeous out here. It is October 4th. It's time for us to take all of these bean pods. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut them at the bottom. You need to store the tomato cages, and then I need to push those all the way back to the wall. All right, push back. These are down. I'm gonna go ahead and keep collecting viable bean seeds. You can already hear these are dry and rattling. This one is on its way to being dry. Okay, so I am still working through this. I've got them separated so I can sit down here, and I'm keeping everything that's viable, which means that the seeds are well developed. Some of these down here, very viable. Nice big seed development. You can see it was starting to bleach out and dry out. Also, if it's green and it's viable, has nice big seeds, still want those. In the seed saving area, these are already dry. You can hear how crispy these are. These are on some cookie cooling racks. And you can see they have a little bit of ways to go, but they do have some airflow under here. And I tried to do the same thing with the marigolds, but they are a little bit small. Just waiting on those tomatoes so that I can go ahead and get a full sheet of ripe prairie fire tomatoes. All the drying beans that are on my cookie cooling racks have totally and completely dried out, and they have caught up to the first round of beans that were picked. Now, just on this cookie sheet alone, there's 20. I'm going to say that there is a minimum of 3, being really conservative. 3 beans per pod, which obviously this one has way more. So I'm going to say there's a minimum of 60 bean seeds just here on the cookie cooling racks. So, like everything with seed saving, you want them to be beautiful. You want them to be big, which means mature and completely developed, and you want them to be completely dried out. This one looks a little green, but it's dry. You can hear it. It's nice and crackly. And look at this monster right here. Look at that. Also, you can hear that they shake as well. So what we're gonna do is I am just gonna go through here and they crack right open. I'm gonna take out all the seeds and you can see my finished product. So I am plugging along here. Look at that. You can see they're going to attach when they're dry. There's nothing for them to cling on. So they're kind of pop out as you're doing that. That's a good sign. I'm gonna keep these. We're gonna compost all of this in here. When you see that it looks a little bit moldy, that's just on the outside. Here's the seeds. There's nothing wrong with the seeds that were in there. You can also tell when you touch this that they're dry. This one right here, I don't really care for, so I am looking for some that look a little bit possibly damaged. So this one, don't care for it. I'm just gonna compost that as well. When you get done, I'm going to put mine in a jar because I think I'm gonna have way more. They're gonna fit back into my original bean seed packet. Otherwise, I could just put it back in that packet. Still plugging along. But look at this pod when I opened this. I do not care for that. Look at this. This one's damaged all the way. And this one feels, I mean, it's not even formed correctly. So to me, I'm gonna throw this whole entire pod and the beans away. I'm gonna consider this pod to have been compromised. And you can see how little this one is. And it's pitted. Yeah, we don't want that. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna put all of that in here. I'm considering it compromised. This is 84 seeds right here. Looking at this pod, look at this. This is totally and completely moldy. The seed next to it, not moldy, but a little deformed. Obviously it was compromised. Obviously you never want to introduce a moldy seed of any kind, of any variety, into your pristine, perfect seeds. That's the 85. This one has 42 seeds in it. So, I mean, come on. I haven't even gotten to this tray yet. I started just in here so I could have a nice little garbage bowl. Look at this. This is the moisture that kind of creates a little bit of a paper. So you want to make sure that you are taking that out. This is still kind of connected here. It's part of a string, but really these are stringless green beans. So we just want to take that out as we go along. All right, I'm going to delve into these now. 2 pods, 16 bean seeds. That's really all that I would need for 2 succession plantings for 2 people. Just 8 and 8, that would have lasted me the whole entire summer. In zone 5. All right, there's 122 in this pile. And seems like there was 140 in here. I can safely say that I have 200 bean seeds now. So, excellent job, well done. I'm gonna compost all of this. I'm gonna bury it in place. Cold composting. Now it is time for your second bean drying session. You are trying to get every bit of moisture out of the beans because there still could be some moisture in those dry pods. So we're gonna let these sit here for 2 more weeks and get it all out. As you walk by, you can kind of stir it up a little bit and see if you've missed anything, like that right there. I don't really care for that, so I'm going to take that out. Take the time, be patient, give them 2 more weeks of drying, just as the bean, not the bean in the pod. It's very essential that you do not skip this step. So I am all done with Hilda. She's thoroughly dried out. She's in a nice glass jar. What I'm gonna do is I folded this in half and I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm gonna put the lid on. Now I can see exactly what bean it is. I'm gonna go ahead and store it, and we're all done with her. Okay, it is Christmas, and I am just bagging up some of those Hilda Romano beans that I grew and saved the seeds for. We've got about 20 seeds. I'm gonna put them in these coordinating boxes in this bag and send that to the family. The gift that keeps on giving, and that will feed you throughout the summer. Thank you so much for watching, and I invite you again to subscribe, as I have been gardening for over 40 years and have a lot to teach, show, grow, review, experiment with, and my favorite, a specific variety everything deep dive. So let's try new things together, mix it up, and have a glorious day.